Welcome back to Glad We Had This Chat, and this is our first listeners' questions. Every week, my guest and I will be answering your questions, covering anything: skincare, teenagers, God help us, social media madness. Nothing is off limits. Details of how to send in your questions are at the end of the show, but for now, let's crack on. Today in listeners' questions, we are answering all of your beauty-related and lifestyle questions with myself and Sarah Jesscia Parker. They're so random, which is what I love. And it's things like UK this or that, which I think you'll really love.
Okay, good.
So like Boots or Superdrug?
Boots.
See, I love a Superdrug.
Well, you know what? I haven't familiarized myself. I am, from the time I was a little girl, the first time I came to London was in 1977, and I came there to work.
Yeah.
And so I grew up, Boots was, and this was before we had, in our country, any proliferation of a chain of drugstores. But Boots is kind of incredible. Yeah. There was one right next to the Savoy, or three.
No, there was, because we came out and we had to go into a Boots to get water and tissue and all sorts. But
you're a Superdrug.
I like Superdrug because, well, with 4 kids, it was cheaper because they do like the big shower gels and the deodorants and all that stuff. Got it. You just go in with a bucket and go on then.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Selfridges or Harrods?
Oh my goodness.
Or any other. Did you manage to get out at all?
I didn't get to shop, but I was just talking about that in the car. I didn't get to shop at all. I would probably say...
See, I'm biased. I would say Liberty.
I love Liberty. And the one place I did go was O Pioneers. Do you know O Pioneers? It's an amazing small company, dress company in Marylebone. And they use they only use Liberty fabrics. And so the 2 things that I bought were 2 skirts that they did for me. But I think I'm going to say...
I saw that on your Insta. I did.
Yeah. I think I would say Selfridges because I think of Harrods as a more rarefied air. I think the food at Harrods is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
But Selfridges is, to me, where people shop. And you can get it all there, you know, and it's quality.
Yeah.
You know, so...
And you can just walk from department to department and books and clothes and... Full English or a Sunday roast?
Oh, no. Really?
Apparently, this is what the people want to know.
Oh, no.
Well, like one of them is, it says, did you use the tube when you were there? How does it compare to the subway? I saw you visit, they're very nosy. I saw you visit a pub in Highgate. What's your favourite pub grub? Favourite areas of London to visit? And then black taxi or Uber.
Let's do it all.
I want to know a lot.
I'll do it all. Okay, so let's put it this way. If I'm in Ireland, it's the full breakfast.
Full
like,
English.
it's the full English.
Full Irish.
Full Irish.
Before they come for us.
Correct. And but because we were so new to the Sunday roast culture, and I really did not, since I want to just talk about this for a second, we did not understand what that meant to people. Like it's not a joke.
No.
Everybody that I met, including every black cab driver I talked to, who would choose to work on Sunday, did Sunday roast on Saturday with their family, meaning their mom would come over. Like, it's so real that it feels...
It's part of the culture.
It's incredible. And I had some unbelievable Sunday roast. There's a place on the border of Highgate called the Bull and Last. Do you know the Bull and Last?
They're going to love you now.
Incredible. Then there's a place called Red Lion and Son, and that's up on the other edge of Highgate. It's not just their Sunday roast, and the same with Bull and Last. Yeah. It's all, their menu is...
The pub grub is good.
It's beautiful.
Did you have the family with you? Because they're sort of ages of school, so they came as well. How long were you there for in the end? It was months and months.
We were there from January 2nd to April 14th.
Wow.
So we had a lot of really good roasts and a couple of invited to families' homes, which was especially meaningful to us because it is such a special time for families.
So if you're invited to a Sunday roast, it's pressure for the person doing it.
Yorkshire pudding and beautiful. There's a place in China called Old Town 97, which is incredible.
See, I feel embarrassed.
And you're like in and out in 30 minutes, and the food is
the best.
Truly great Chinese
and speedy.
Food. Truly great. There's a place called the Gatehouse, which is just a very easy pub up in Highgate. We got to go to Scott's.
Oh, nice.
Which was really special. My husband was like, I'm not leaving London if we get to go to Scott's and have Dover sole. I fell in love with slip sole while I was in London. That is not something we have in the States at all. Do you know slip sole?
No.
It's just little soles. Okay. It's like 3 of them on a plate. Wow. We went to one very fancy Japanese restaurant, which was really special for us, and the River Cafe.
obviously. Do you know, it's crazy because we live in West London and we've lived near the River Cafe for 35 years.
You've not been?
And no, we just don't go.
Oh.
And every time we will go.
You have to go. If you need help getting in.
I'll be like, so my friend...
I'll help you, for sure. Black cab or
Uber.
Oh no, black cab.
Black cab.
Oh no, I have Get still on my phone. I will not.
And free now. There's two.
What is it?
Free now. Like, are you free now? So free now. So you'd always call both at the same time and then cancel the one that's
perfect. Well, I was dedicated to Get so much to the point that if a cab that wasn't black pulled up, I was like, I don't want to be in a pink cab, but I'll get in any cab.
Yeah.
I can't.
We do have the best cabs in the world.
Cannot get over your cabs.
It's the best cab in the world.
It is the best cab in the world.
Any form of transport where you can push a pram or a buggy or pushchair into it, put the brake on, and sit.
It's incredible.
And they know
the space,
every
the
single
knowledge
place you're going to.
It's incredible. But I love your public transportation. I think it is.
I can't get on the metro in New York. It freaks me out.
I
can't do it. I don't know where I'm going.
I know.
Why is the exit different from the entrance? And how do I get on? How do I know I'm going downtown or uptown? It's all very...
I want us to do better by our New Yorkers. I really do. I think our public transportation has really not had the kind of support and funding that you all have enjoyed.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that
and
well
you also
funded,
have so many buses.
Buses everywhere.
I mean, it's incredible.
We have got brilliant public transport.
I took the 214 every single day down to Swains Lane.
Wow.
To get my groceries. I love the 214, 283.
Imagine sitting on the bus and you get on and you go, no, it can't be. They would leave you alone and just...
My mom and I took the buses a bunch, yeah.
Did you get recognised much, or do people think there's no way it could be?
Yeah, people were nice, friendly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They were very nice. They were nice.
Right, dear SJB and Caroline, I'm a working mother trying to juggle my career responsibilities. How can I find a balance between advancing my career ambitions and being present for my children without feeling guilty or overwhelmed? Well, I don't do guilt. You might feel bad on occasion, but I'm providing for the family.
Yeah.
So, and I always said, I think the best thing my kids can see is me trying to live my best life that also helps them. Mm-hmm. But, I think didn't miss any plays or that kind of thing.
I think it's hard when you don't have as much freedom to dictate not missing a play or a concert or a parent-teacher conference. I think for those of us who can say to our employers, I have to be at my parent-teacher conference, that puts you in a different position. And I think most working mothers or most working parents don't have the liberty
it is a privilege.
to dictate how they're going to be a working person vis-a-vis a parent. I mean, a working person and a parent.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's fraudulent for me to give advice because it would suggest that I had the same hardships, and I just don't. And I would say that if you're a person that is choosing to work, meaning you don't have to necessarily, and you love the work, and you're doing something every day that keeps you alive, spirited, and engaged in a world in a way that is different than being a parent, then you have to make peace with the guilt that sometimes accompanies that. And the best thing to do is just to talk to other parents. And I remember before I had 3 children, when I had 1, and I was so worried about going back to work. Yeah. And actually the director of our play, who was my friend at the time, John Benjamin Hickey, grew up in Plano, Texas, which was at the time a tiny rural community outside Dallas. And his mother was this woman still is alive, 97 or something, Larita B. Hickey. And she was an educator his whole life in Plano, Texas. She worked every single solitary day of his life, singular, in that community. And he was like, my mother worked every single day. And sometimes she wasn't there when I came home. And sometimes she missed this. But he said, but I was so proud of her. Yeah. And this was something he had to arrive at on his own. Yeah. No one was telling him, hey, this is an unusual. So I'm a working person because
you can,
for the most part, I love it. And I can also, with the exception of being away in London when I missed a lot, I missed all the volleyball tournaments, which was awful. That's pretty much it. The girls didn't miss me at school. There wasn't something I missed at school. There were no parent-teacher conferences that I missed. Yeah. But that was the first time I missed a chunk. But we talked to them a lot, and it wasn't that they didn't express to me, listen, this has been really hard on us. They're like, we're fine. Yeah. We're fine.
This episode is obviously brought to you by the SkinRocks app, your free to download ultimate guide to skincare made by me, all in one place, with a catalogue of over 24,000 products and over 600 expertly written articles and guides with new content daily. It really is your destination for your best skin yet. And I'm thrilled, because I can, to offer you an exclusive discount to unlock an elevated app experience with exclusive features and even more skincare expertise from me, plus so much more. Revolutionise the way you discover, shop and learn about skincare with our multi-award-winning app. Download the SkinRocks app for free and sign up to Premium with your exclusive code CHPOD, all in caps, to save £10 off your annual subscription. More details in the show notes. SJP, you are my fashion muse. What pieces are essential in your wardrobe?
I don't have a very exciting wardrobe, to be honest. Honestly, I really don't.
I imagine you have an archive.
I have an archive, yes. And that's
but
much more exciting.
When you're a mum is...
I mean, these are the same jeans I've had for 7-8 years. This is from, I think, 1997. I wear a lot of gray sweatshirts and a lot of jeans.
I love a jean.
And that's essential because it's just the easiest thing to put on. And, you know, I like a simple black dress. I really do. I love a dress from a company called Reformation.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably about $200. And it's a sort of classic, like almost like Martha Graham. It's a jersey knit, ballet neck, 3-quartered sleeves, black dress that you can just, and it comes in jade green and, and it's affordable and it will never go out of style. So those kinds of the things. And then the other stuff you can mess with for a minute, but I don't tend to invest in the stuff that's, you can like have a flirt with. I tend to borrow that stuff or...
Hi, can I try this out, please?
Well, also for the show, I get to wear so much that's exciting and innovative. Or
how much of it do you keep? Have you kept for your archive? Any sort of
if it's not
items?
Borrowed from a designer, I keep it all.
Is there one thing that you said, I'm absolutely keeping that, there's no way you're taking this off me?
I give everything back if a designer... Of course. You know in advance. This is on loan. This is been made for you, but the designer wants it back. Because designers for years did not protect their archives.
Of course.
And so they've spent a lot of time calling pieces back.
Fair.
And as reluctant as you are for sentimental reasons, you got to do it because it's fair. People have been so good to me. And I always say it's like the library. Like if you enter into it in the honorable way, you meant to borrow it and bring it back. They'll give you another. So my relationship with designers is you borrow it and you give it back in the same condition, if not better than you were given it, then you're going to be the person that they're going to say yes to.
Did you manage to get your hands on anything?
I have everything.
Yeah.
But some designers, when McQueen passed, they asked for it back. And I said,
totally understand.
Absolutely. Mr. De La Renta has asked for a couple things back or asked, can I borrow it for an exhibition? Absolutely.
I imagine, no, you can't, actually.
So anything that wasn't, but a lot of designers say, keep it.
Nice.
And we take really good care of it. Yeah.
How can I silence my inner critic and cultivate a more positive and compassionate inner dialogue? I didn't know that was going to be quite so intense for a Saturday afternoon.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm the necessarily right person to ask that.
I'm always
answer that question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to be critical of yourself or...
I think it's what you allow in. For me, it's what you allow in. Are you engaging in stuff that's negative? Are you surrounded by negative people? Are you surrounded by positive people? And
there's a lot of negativity. People kind of, it's like currency to be nasty and snarky and negative. And
I'll bear it. I
mean, I see it sometimes with my daughters even. Kids are kind of like, meh. That's kind of their go-to. Yeah. It's like a language for them. And I'm like, really? You really? It's hard not to be critical of yourself. It's hard not to be critical of others. I don't know. You just have to work on it. If it's something that you find is dominating your life, I guess you have to find a way out of that. And it's not very pleasant.
No, and just I would say don't be worried about discarding people who bring you down.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to let you go. I've got two finals. So, SJP, love seeing you in London recently. What did you like about London and what differs from NYC?
What I loved about London was... I couldn't get over how many parks you have, the green space.
So much green.
Matthew didn't understand this Sunday walk thing that everybody does, where everybody takes a walk on Sunday. And
it's
so
to
I was
walk off the
really
roast.
thinking about this because it's, you go to somebody's home and then they say, and then we're going to take a walk. But they actually mean a walk. They're not saying
they don't park
a walk
down the road.
to the deli and then back and then you're sitting back down. They mean a proper
We're going out for a few hours.
Walk. But I started thinking, I was like, what is this? What is it? And I was even asking my mother, but when my mother came and I said, well, it's Sunday, we're all going to go for a walk on the heath. I started to think, oh, you know, when I used to read those books, like all of the true English classic pieces of literature, you know, it's Jane Eyre and this and that, and all of those books, they're always walking.
Yeah.
And they're on the heath and they're on here and they're there and they're walking through the village into the thing and the next field and the next large manor or estate that has acres and acres and or hectares. I was like, oh, you know, it's Sunday. And I wonder if it started because it was a way of being pious, religious, acknowledging a relationship with God, you know, nature.
Yeah, maybe.
In all those books, they're always long observations about nature and the way that sea moved against the rocks and the heather and the, you know, and then I started thinking, oh, I wonder if this is some relation to Sunday worship, that it's nature. So that I think was like kind of incredible to try to figure out. And I love that.
I love that you're so eloquent, but I think it's much more about just walking off the Sunday roast.
Really?
Yeah.
But everybody does it, though. With
you have a roast and then you go for a walk.
But in America, if you have a roast, you sit down.
Yeah, well, you do. You kind of sit, but then you go. It depends what time you eat. Do you have a 12? Do you have a 3?
It's just not... doesn't happen here. The other thing I would say there is you guys have incredible umbrella stores.
Did you go to the big one in Holborn?
Yes.
Oh, it's insane. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, there's the one that wraps around the corner.
That one. Been there for hundreds of years.
And Matthew, for my birthday, got me a beautiful umbrella. Beautiful teal, which is like my favorite color. Oh. And the question was what?
Just what do you love about London and what differs from NYC?
Those things are different, definitely. The walks, the Sunday roast. One other thing that feels different to me is the way that you all go to the theater. I guess it's because it's more affordable there. Like it really is radically more affordable there.
Right. I didn't realize it's expensive here.
Theaters are packed.
Oh, yeah.
Packed. And everybody comes from work. You know, they got their rucksack, their backpack, their thing. It's nothing. It's like
just going
it's
to
like
the movies.
part of their life. They just go to the theater, go to the theater, go to the theater. We don't have anything like your National Theater in this country.
Oh, wow.
And every time I'm in London, I end up seeing a play at the National Theater or two. And I'm just struck by the kind of, and I know you're suffering because there is big conversations and there has been changes in the kind of government funding. It's still better than ours by a long shot.
I think to your point, I think it's better because it's being supported by public.
Correct. So your tickets can be affordable.
Yeah, the people are, well, we can't let this go just because the government don't care. We have to keep it going.
It's incredible. And the amount of places where people can sit and be together in London, every community, like I'm just never seen so much green space, small, large. I've never seen anything like it. And the last thing I'll just say is that your streets are cleaner.
They are cleaner.
And I don't know how with such a big city you guys can afford that kind of attention.
They're better taken care of too.
They're much better tended to.
I feel like the roads here, you could break an ankle in a pothole. And
I know. I just don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I know we have big budget crisis, especially in New York City. But it's just, it's a little bit, you see it and it's a stark, and I'm not criticizing our city. I'm saying I wish that we had, I don't know if it's the funding. I don't know if it's just practice and routine and I'm not, and I don't want to be in the position of I'm Sarah Jessicia's criticizing New York City.
No,
but
as if I don't think anyone would ever think that.
The kind of support a city gets, a municipality gets.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah.
But New Yorkers, I mean, that's why they built Central Park. They wanted everybody to have access, no matter who you were, to a green space.
Yeah.
But we just don't have enough of them to really serve our communities.
I will say, though, that it is the roads in Central. Any road that is near any kind of royal place is better taken care of. There's no joke that, it was, why does the Queen think everything smells of paint? Because 10 feet in front of us, someone's doing this.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you so much.
My great pleasure.
We have taken up so much of your time, but I am beyond thrilled, and that lot are going to die. they're going to be like, you did not sit opposite Sarah Jesscia Parker. And I'll be like, yes, I did.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
I really
much.
appreciate your time. It was
No,
really fun.
we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on this week's listeners' questions. Next week, I'll be joined by someone equally brilliant. So do send your questions to pod@carolinehirons.com. And until then, I'm glad we had this chat. Follow or subscribe now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Glad We Had This Chat is produced by Wall to Wall Media.